Hello and welcome. Crowned as the most beautiful woman in the world at the turn of the new millennium, she went on to become one of the best-known names in the multi-billion-dollar Bollywood movie industry. This week on One on One, meet top Indian film star Priyanka Chopra. This unassuming little girl, born into a family of doctors in Jamshedpur in India, was destined to live something of a nomadic life, as her father was in the army. Having travelled the globe as a youngster with her family, it was perhaps fitting that Priyanka Chopra would earn the crown for being the most beautiful woman in the world in 2000, continuing a string of victories for Indian beauties who took the crown of Miss World and Miss Universe in the years before her. Like many of them, Chopra chose the path of acting in Bollywood, India's prolific film industry, starting with her first major film in 2003, The Hero, Love Story of a Spy, having debuted in a smaller Tamil film a year or so earlier. Good reviews for her performance in The Hero, one of the highest grossing films of the year, paved her way to prove herself as an A-list star among her peers. Not content with simply playing a beautiful heroine, Chopra won acclaim and the Filmfare Best Villain Award in Aitraz in 2004, a role that also had her nominated for more awards. Rarely given negative press in the tabloids even as her star has risen, Chopra has remained grounded and close to her family, including her younger brother Siddharth, for whom the beauty queen secured a T-shirt signed by the entire Indian cricket team. The actress's 2008 movie, Fashion, echoed aspects of her own life as a small-town girl making it big in the glamorous modelling and film industry. But unlike the ups and downs faced by the character Meghana in the film, Priyanka Chopra continues to lay foundations that prove she's a talented actress whose star continues to rise. Priyanka, great to have a chance to chat with you.
Thank you so much, Riz.
Tell me what's happening for you now. I mean, obviously, you've sort of hit the A-list of the Bollywood set. So it means, in theory, you have a little more choice, a little more say in what you want to do. I know you wanted to get out of that whole glam babe kind of image. Have you succeeded?
Well, I never really wanted to get out of it. I mean, I think that kind of goes along with being an actor in any mainstream I think in mainstream cinema. And I think an actor's biggest conquest is when you have box office success along with critical acclaim, and that's the kind of balance I'm aiming for. And I don't think, when people say that, oh, we've done a deglamorized role and we've taken off our makeup, I don't think that makes you a better actor at all. And so it's not like I'm trying to get away from that. I'm just trying to strike a balance, with myself in many ways.
From what I gather, there's more money made of the Indian film industry outside India than within India.
Completely. I think most filmmakers also do cater to the international market a lot more than the Indian market, if I may say so. But the NRI audience is extremely, I think they're avid film goers for sure. But India has always been about cricket and Bollywood. That's the religion in India, and we've all accepted that. I love it. I love cricket. I love Hindi movies, and the world comes to a standstill when there's a huge match coming up or there's a big movie that's coming up, and that's great. That's how our country has been. I will not say that the international audience has attracted the producers enough to take away from the fact that there is an audience in India. But yes, it has become a very big market.
Is it also less dynastic? Traditionally there have been families running the gamut of top stars. Now, are you finding that there's more of an opportunity based on a meritocracy? Someone who has talent.
I definitely think so. I can only speak out of example for myself. I didn't know anybody in the Hindi film industry, nobody in my entire khandan has been a part of acting or, films. Forget even films, Bombay, for that matter. So it just kind of happened for me, and I think we should give the audience a little bit more credit than we do. They know when they like something, they like something. It does not matter if you come from a dynasty. Yes, of course, I would like to say that when you do come from a dynasty or when you do come from a film family, there's a lot more pressure. You come with the baggage of the fact that, oh my God, I'm a Bachchan, or oh my God, I'm a Kapoor. And people think that it's really easy for them, but it isn't as easy as, the first step might be easy, but then they come with so much more baggage and so much more pressure. It's difficult for us to get that first step. as outsiders. To be accepted, to get those couple of films where people like you, they don't know you, they just have to like you as characters. That is our struggle, but their struggle is there too. So, you know, I guess each thing has its pros and cons.
Talking of your khandan, your family, they were doctors. How did they react to you? Suddenly, you know, you become a beauty star, Miss World. You've gone down a different line. They're sort of academic. How did they respond?
Well, my parents have always kind of told me that, you know, whatever decisions you take, you should have the guts to live up to the consequences. And they've always pushed me in whichever direction I wanted to go into. In fact, I'd never modeled before Miss India. I was 17 when I won Miss India and Miss World, in fact, and I was probably one of the youngest Miss Worlds ever. And that only happened because my mom decided it was the millennium year, and I'd just come back from the US where I was doing my high school, and my parents were posted in Bareilly, and she said, you know, we have these really nice pictures. I was applying to scholarships in colleges in Australia, in fact. I wanted to study engineering. And she just decided to send my pictures in, and I got selected for Miss India, and then the ball just got rolling. And
there are people listening. You might get a role as an engineer now. You know that. You might. Let me ask you about that. The early childhood years in India before you went to America for your studies. How were those? What do you remember really about those times?
My dad was in the defense, in the army, and I mostly remember army homes and you know, the army social get-togethers, and school, which was very disciplined, and you know, the army has a certain protocol in doing everything, and I think that my earliest memories are from there.
Marching?
Yeah, no, not marching as much.
Marching to the kitchen and back to the bedroom?
No, never the kitchen, but just in terms of, you know, time, punctuality, and just respect, and seniors, and, you know, just protocol in every way.
How much of that from your father rubbed off on you as a person?
I think in a big way. I mean, unconsciously, I think your parents and your upbringing rubs off on you in everything that you do as an adult. And with me especially, it has. I mean, in terms of, I really do respect time.
Which is unusual for an Indian.
Yeah, I know.
About IST, Indian stage time.
Yeah. But no, I believe that if I respect people's time, they will respect mine. And I hate wasting time.
What about your mother? What sort of influence did she have on your upbringing?
Everything that I am, in fact. I think my mom taught me how to be independent, and she taught me how to be independent not just as a person, but independent thinking. And she taught me about how to be presentable, how to be, you know, how to be well-spoken, how to be, I guess, the woman that I am today. I'm definitely a shadow of my mom.
How was life in America?
Different. I think when I first went there as a fob, you know, you get into high school is really difficult for a teenager, and I went there when I was 13. So 13 to 16 is the space that I was in, which are your formative years as an adolescent, you know, and that is a very difficult time. I think it was difficult initially. I think 13, 14 was a little difficult. 15, 16, I kind of came to and understood how, you know, what I was and a little bit more about myself. And by then, I started enjoying it, but I was really missing home, my family.
I was going to say, did America have an appeal for you? Did you ever think, this is the place I would like to live?
When I was living there, yes. But when I came back and I understood India from an independent point of view, I mean, every time I knew India, I was dependent on my parents. But as an independent earning adult, when I understood India and I understood Bombay, I don't think I could live anywhere else. Yes, holidaying, America is great. Holidaying, Dubai is great. Holidaying anywhere is great. But I like going back home.
Now, my heart's in Bombay, I have to say. It's an amazing place. But it's also changing a lot. And are you happy with the way India is changing?
I am, in many ways. I do think that India has taken a huge stand in understanding the potential that we have as a country. We understand that there's so much more we can do than we give ourselves credit for. And there's so much more our country is capable of. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, I don't know the exact numbers, but in terms of technicians around the world, I mean, you will see so many more Indians abroad. I mean, if just those Indians were in India contributing just what they did to all the other countries that they do, India would be in another place. But we have to, as a country, be able to provide them what the other countries do as well.
But from what I gather and what I see from friends of mine, a lot of Indians are going back. They see a future there.
No, they do. I know a lot of Indians who study study abroad. They come back to India to work. It's a very individual thing. You know, it's the love of a country, it's your family, it's where you want to be, is after maybe you've established yourself abroad as you know, where you're rooted, and then you maybe want to come back to your own country and kind of, you know, gauge the water there. But I think India is providing a lot of opportunities now. The government has taken a huge, I mean, it's opened up its eyes, arms, everything to people to come and stay in the country. And actually, the youth of the country has taken a huge, I think, responsibility towards steering India in the right direction. And that is a great change. And I'm really happy to be a part of that.
I'll get on to your winning Miss World in a moment, but you actually gave up the chance to go to college. You were starting college, I think, and decided once you won. Do you ever regret that, dropping out?
I did actually go to college after I won Miss World.
Oh, you did? You finished it off? Okay.
No, I didn't. I didn't finish it.
Okay.
I went for a year.
So you started and then you left, yeah.
I went for a year to college after Miss World, but attending colleges got really weird because I would be in college and, you know, people would not be paying attention to what the teacher was saying. It would be me. And, you know, you're not a normal student anymore. And
you're expected to provide world peace.
I tried. I tried. I contributed as much as I could. I still am. But it was very difficult. It was really weird. And at 18, I was still trying to gauge, you know, what happened in my life suddenly. I was picked up from school, and suddenly I became this person who everybody wanted to know, see, meet, touch. And it was still very difficult for me to kind of comprehend what happened to me. So my biggest regret, yes, in life is not to be a graduate. It is because I advocate education in a huge way. And my biggest fear is that my kids will turn around and say that, you know, why should we study? You didn't. And I'd be like, tsh.
Tell them along this catwalk you win, you can do the same.
No, it is something I want to do. I know that it is something that I will take up eventually. I do want to be a graduate.
Well, Priyanka, we've got a few more questions for you. I'm going to ask you to just sit tight. We're going to come back with some more after the break. You're watching 101 with Priyanka Chopra.